what we are doing now, that we are into the last section of module 2, modeling part. Okay. So it's 2.3, optimize model performance. In this particular section, what are the different things that we need to understand are 5 major points. Okay. So first of all, we will go through the introduction to Power BI, that what is the basic requirement of using the Power BI performance improvements. Then we will understand that if we have some unwanted or unnecessary rows and columns, how we can optimize that one also, because we can remove the rows and the columns that are not required in your analysis. Okay. Then by using performance analyzer, you can identify the performance issues into it, that either it is taking more time for the execution, or what is the time to reflecting the interactions of your visualization. Okay. Then next thing is, by selecting or by choosing optimal data types, you can improve the performance also. Like if you have a floating point data, if you have, definitely it will take more time to execute than the integers. Okay. And if you have a particular data type, okay, like text, and just like a shipping mode that we are going to take the example also. So if we can convert it into numeric part, it will definitely execute in more easy and more fast manner. Okay. So finally, we have the enhancing the performance by using summarizing the data. So summarizing data, again, the function of DEX. So how you can write the performance formula or summarizing data formulas, we will look into it with some examples. Okay. So let's start and see how we can improve the performance of our visualizations. The very first thing is that what is the requirement of performance improvements? So by exploring practical techniques, how to enhance the performance of your Power BI reports and dashboards will be there in this analysis. Because right now we are working with sample superstore data, as you know, right? Here it is, I mentioned also. So if we are using this particular data, it is not so big. It is a small data set. It will not take much time to execute the things, right? Okay. So it will not take much time to execute. Whenever you are dealing with the big data, you are dealing with the data that is taking a lot of time, or it consumes a time to execute or to reflect the changes. And whenever it is interacting with the data, it took time to execute. So that will be not useful, or you can say it is not beneficial to get the time delay in our execution, because whenever we are dealing with the live data also, or a real-time data, right, real-time execution or real-time refreshing or live data we are using, that time we need to optimize it. Okay. The things must be optimized and it will not take much time to execute. Okay. So in real examples of sample superstore data, what we are going to cover, we will cover to identifying and removing the unnecessary rows and columns. We will see how we can identify the performance using the performance analyzer, how we can use the optimizing data types, and summarizing data for improvement improve efficiencies, right? So let's get to the first part, and we will see all these things by implementing it in Power BI, right? So let's get into it. The very first thing that you have is to identify and remove unnecessary rows and columns. Okay, so let's get into Power BI and let's see that what are the different unnecessary columns available there or unnecessary rows are available. So let's get into Power BI over here, right? So basically, from where we can see our data directly, we need to get into the view mode. That is the data view mode. Okay. From data view mode, this is data table. Let's get into the superstore data. Okay. Here, which data is not important to us right now? You can say that shipping mode is required, customer ID, customer name. You will never use the customer name, right? So click on it and right click on it and say delete. Okay. And if you will say that in future I need it, in present report I don't require this data to be there. So in that particular case, whenever you require it in future also, you can hide it. Okay, hide in report view. Or second thing, if you say I never required it, it is useless for my analysis. So I will directly click on delete, right? No, Rohit, these changes will not impact your actual file. Okay, it will be just impact in Power BI file only. Okay, whenever you are connected with any server also, this data will be visualized to you, and if you will do any variations into it, these changes will not impact your actual data. Okay, so click on delete and delete column, say okay, right? Completing the query, refreshing it, that is removed. Then we will move ahead. This pin code is also never used, so we can remove this one also. Yes. Okay. So what is the next? Here we have product name, their sales. Okay, that's fine. So these two to three things are never used by us, so we just removed it. Okay. Now let's see with the column, with the rows. Okay. Let's say let's arrange it according to the row ID in ascending order. Okay. So it is 2016, then 15, the 14, 17. It is not arranged properly. So if you will change it according to the ascending order, we can see the 14 data is also there. Okay. And some more data is there. So if you want to remove any row, what you need to do, you need to use the filters option only, right? So within it, you can use the filter options into it rather than selecting all these things. And to remove any columns, you need to use the filter like this one and say this is the data that we have, right? Date filter. Okay. Say equals to 2014, you can say, and remove. Rather than using this one, let's say in shipping mode, it will be more convenient for us right now. So let's say we don't want to analyze the second day delivery methods here. Okay, just select uncheck it and say okay, right? So this is how your data rows are also eliminated, right? So by using filters, remember this thing, by using filters, you can eliminate or you can remove your rows. And for the columns, it can be removed directly. Okay, so this is how it works. And in bottom, you can see table superstore 9994 rows available, but 8049 filtered rows are available. Got it? And four distinct values are there, and three filtered distinct values are there. And one more thing, wherever you implemented your filter, you can see like this, some downward arrow, some upward arrow sort of thing. So there must be some filters that are applied on it. Okay, so this is the thing that you can use to remove unwanted rows and columns. Okay, that's what uh, we have in optimization of unnecessary rows and columns. Got it? So, okay. So, what is the next thing that we have? We have using performance analyzer to identify the performance issues. Okay. Two things are there in this particular analysis of performance analyzer. First is visual load time. We can identify what is the visual load time. Second thing is measures impact on the performance. That which particular measure impacting our performance analysis. Okay, which one consumes more time into it. Okay, so let's look into it also by implementing it and see how the performance analyzer also works with it, right? So let's get into Power BI. Let's get back to the normal view. Okay, here let's get to the visualization first. Where not this one? Yes, for this one and this one also we can work. To get into the modeling optimize option here on the top. Okay, in optimize option, you will find review. Okay, so review, it means you can just review it, nothing else. Click on it, right? So let me optimize this one also like this. Visualization, let me do like this. So it will be better to see more things over here, right? So how we can now find the standard record, how we can find out the optimizations and how our model is performing. So for that one, we need to start the recording. Okay, click on this start recording. Now it started recording your visualization impacts, right? For this one particular, what we have, you can see this is my data file. I have the subcategories and total office supplies sales. Two things are there. If I will include full sales with it like this, you can see as soon as I added a full sale into it, okay, there is a variation in the visualization, as well as it shows me that what is the DAX function performance here, the visual display and the other working here. You can copy this query, right? And you can get into the modeling, okay? Or you can get into the, just hold on, let me check. You can go through the DAX function optimizations from it, okay? So just a second. performance analyzer that we have. So here, drill down. Okay, I don't have the external tool that I am using for it. It's just installed yesterday. Again, okay, so let me show this one into your Power Query editor. So let's get into here in the Home tab and say transform data. Okay, click on it. That's for Power Query editor will be open. Okay, then just hold on. There is some error into it. Superstore, maybe two of the files are opened. Just let me check. No. So in the Home tab, let's get into transform data. Get into advanced editor. Okay. So here you can see the source. The source is copied from there. Just remove this one and paste the code that we just have. Okay. So from here, I just copied and pasted from where? From this one. Okay. From here, I just copied it. That's how it is performing, right? And then I went to the editor, and from editor, I went to the advanced editor option. Okay. Here I just pasted it. So you can see that variable character DS04 is created, right? So let me show you again. Let me cancel it, discard the changes. Okay. Again, close this one, right? So from here, just go to the transform data. First thing, from the home tab, go to transform data. In transform data, that is Power Query editor, on the top in the home tab, you will find advanced editor. Okay, click on it. You will find some code into it. Just replace that you copied from there. Okay, copied from summarization analyzer. So here you can see what is the code that is working behind the filters that you are dragging, dropping, and all these things. Okay, got it? So from here you can see what is the different things that are applied also. So this particular ignore region filters we implemented on it. So top and variable windows, primary windows are also we opened for it, right? Order by function by default implemented. Evaluate the primary window function. So this is how you can see what is the code that is implemented here. Okay. So if you have the knowledge of advanced DAX, then you can add it over there also. And if you want to create your own DAX functions, then also you can put your own DAX function there. Okay. As soon as you will start working with it, later on you will see you are just optimizing your queries. Okay. Just click on cancel, not done. It will change the whole scenario if you will click on the done. Okay. So now if you will see, I just removed some of sales. Okay. So it took more time, 724 seconds when the things are executed, when I removed it. Got it? So it is taking more time, right? So you have to find out how you can optimize it. Okay. So this is the observations that you have with you over here. If I will gain, click profit, I'm just showing it. What is the thing? So inserting, it takes 245 seconds. If I will remove it again, it takes 167. you can see the sales data took more time to be removed. It means whenever you are adding a new data into it, it will just picking a particular column. But when you are removing it, your DAX functions that are associated with your library are also impacted, and they are also executed parallelly. That's why what we can do, or what we already done, that we are using some DAX functions into it for the sales. All right. So sum of sales and all these things we already calculated, like total sales, if I will include into it, okay, it will take 254 seconds. It took 271 seconds first time, right? If I will remove this one, you can see it is just removed within 163 seconds. Previously, it took 724 seconds to be removed. Okay, so this is the difference when you are using the DAX functions and a normal elements or the measures of the table, right? So this is how you can use the performance analyzer. All right. If you will even switch in between different tables, it will show you that how it is changing. So it took a lot of time when you see, and how much time it took to load the data. It's all about microseconds. Don't think it's seconds. These are just microseconds. Whenever you are switching your tables, you can see according to this how it is affecting your data, right? So the matrix we loaded took 672 microseconds. Here we don't have any data, we can eliminate it. What should be our target here? Our target basically is here to identify that which particular visualization is taking more time to execute, or whenever you are changing the data, or whenever you are updating the data, how it is changing. Okay, and if you can say, if you can identify the problem, then you can find the solution also for that one. So I have a solution that, suppose uh, I have a normal profits with me, so it executes all the files. Okay, whenever I will switch my data, it will consume more time, or it is taking more time to be executed, right? But as soon as I created a DAX function for particular sum of sales, then it is taking just 120 microseconds to execute it. So we are just looking for the visualizations with less. Yes, we need to look into visualizations with lesser execution time. So not for the visualization, for the parameter, for the elements that we are using. We have the specific requirement. Now see, this is how much this particular uh, query took to execute, right? So you need to optimize it. So order date, basically in order date, as you know, you have a lot of things which is associated with it. In order date, you just have the years over here. We just edited it, and we just change the order date for this one, right? So for this one, because we already created a date table with it, if you will replace the date table, definitely it will reduce the time for it. Okay, so let's check from here for this visualization. Some of sales order dates are there, cancel this one and use this one, the order dates. Okay, no, it is not working properly. For the year, we can say it, maybe it is not linked directly with it. That's why it is not giving us the exact results. So for this one, we can use the different type of data sources again with it. Okay. So here also, you don't have a particular hierarchy also created. You can create the hierarchy and work with that one also. So performance analyzer is just to observe the variation in your data, that how much time it is taking normally to be executed. Okay. So text box is there, so some visualizations are there. You can see it took 916 microseconds for it. So this is how performance analyzer just gives you the idea that how much your particular visualization impacting on the execution. Okay, so that's it for the performance analyzer thing, and measures impact we already seen in the visualization, that we can analyze that, okay, in this particular visualization I need to convert my measures into DAX function, right? Let's see the next one, which is a simple one where we need to select a particular data types to improve the performance. Okay, so let's see. One of the thing is data type optimization. Second is efficient use of data types. Let's see what we can do into it, right? So let's stop this one, close this one. Okay, so again, we need to get into the data view option. Here, let's see the different data types. For sales, let's check. We have decimal number data type. Okay, for because decimal number will take more time, right? So what we can do, we can convert it into whole number like this. Okay, click on yes, right? So it will not take much time now. Definitely, it will optimize it. Okay. Similarly, for the profit also you can do, right? You can change the data type of profit also, which is also decimal number. You can convert into whole number or a fixed decimal number. Say just two decimal number I need. Okay, fixed to it, fixed to a particular decimals. Okay, so it taken up to 3 to 4 points, right? So for the profit, you can that uh, 3 to 4 decimals are not required. So convert it into whole number also, right? It will not take much time to the execution. Okay, to take less time into it. Then let's say with the different segments, or let's again like the second class. Okay, and here as you have the text. Okay, let's say if I will convert it into whole number, what will happen? Error will coming over here, right? So what I can do, the particular format of it is text. So it is not summarized also, right? So unrecognized things are also there, because recognized things are like this one for this particular data. Okay. So grouping also we don't require into it. So right click on it, and you can do nothing with this one, because no new measures can be created, no new data queries are to be there. Okay, so in this one, we don't have any options to go with it. Okay, you can have the case statements with it, where we can work like in edit queries. If you will get over here, then we have some advanced uh, editing also that we can do. Data source error could not find the path. Okay, go to the error. So let's make it correct first. Go to the file section, go to the option setting, data source setting. So change the data source, browse it, must be there in data sets. Okay, here it is. Open it. Okay, make it open. Right, close it. Apply the change. Done. The data source issue is resolved. Let's get to right click and say edit query again. So this is the file that we have. So from here you can change it. A lot of more options you can find from this particular uh, editing option. Directly you can change the data types and all those things from here. Okay, remove the empty cells from here. Okay, and you can manage the parameters also here. Manage parameters, creating a new parameter. Now, we are going to get into the new parameters also, where we will allot a new type to it. Okay, so that time we will see into it, that not right now. Okay, so list of values putting over there. So parameter will be the next thing. So here we can change the different kind of parameters, and then we can move ahead with it. So if you will get into the parameters or the data type of it, you can change these data types and you can optimize your analysis. Okay, just like from the floating, we converted it into whole number. That will be very useful, right? So that's the thing that we have with changing and efficient use of data types in there, right? So how efficiently you can use the data types, that instead of floating, you can use the integer type or the whole number type, so that the execution time will be optimized also. Okay. Now the last one, how we can enhance the performance by summarizing the data. So we have two examples with us. As one of the example we already done, where we created a date table, right? So as we've seen, whenever we are using the sales data or the order data, order date, so it is taking more time to execute. But if we will create such a different table for a particular requirement, then it will just execute one variable, one column. So definitely it will optimize the thing, right? So let's see from where we can create this particular files, and let me copy these both formulas in the chat box so that all of you also can implement directly along with me. Okay, so this is the formula, right? Let's hold on. Okay, so these are the two formulas. Okay, let's get into Power BI. Okay, now implement both these formulas, right? So how you can create a new table, you know, that get into the data view. Okay, data view. We are already in data view. Table tools. Okay, you can say a new table you need to create. Right. From here, just paste the formula that we have. Right. So orders. No, the table name is not orders with us. So the table name that we have is superstore. So just change the orders with superstore. Superstore reason we need, right? So the superstore reason where it is, here it is. Okay. So added this function. Total sales, sum of sales again. You need to say sample superstore. What we required? We required the sales. So this one. Okay. So now we don't have any error in it. So on the last, click on enter. And you can see a particular reason why sales is created. So whenever you need a particular values of a particular reason why sales, you can directly use it. If you are going to use this type of visualizations from the superstore file, what it will do, the reason is associated with all the values or all the parameters. First of all, it will scan the whole superstore file. Then it will go through the reason column. And second thing, that is the sales that you have. So it will associate it over there. And that's why now you can understand that it will definitely take much more time to execute, right? So instead of using that one, what we have done, we just created a reason summary, right? Using the summarize function. Okay, this is how more or less summarize function is nothing, just the pivot tables. Okay, so to summarizing it, to making it pivot, you are using this one. Okay, next, the second thing that you have, I shared with you also, that is monthly sales summary. Okay, so you can create the table for monthly sales summary also. For each and every month, you can have the sales of that one. Okay, so just click on new table, then again use this one. Instead of orders, use superstore. Okay, the orders table, we have 3 tables over here. So instead of that, that's why the orders is over there. Orders, returns, and those kind of things are there. In order date, we are using the month. Month is not available as I remember. Superstore or in order date, yes. Data type is date and time. Let's convert into it. That one. Okay. Do not summarize. Do not categorize it. Okay. So in order date, the okay, hierarchy is not over there now. That's why it is creating the issue. But the format is also not there. Long format or short format, that is the different thing. So for the order date, we don't have any hierarchy for it, right? Yes, Rohit, you have the particular format. You have the order dates with you. That's why order date in hierarchy, there is month. That's why it is executing. Mine is disturbed. That's why not creating the hierarchy here. Okay. So I can go with the create hierarchy function. Okay. Here the order date is there, but with order date I need to create one more hierarchy. So I will create the hierarchy again. Then we can go with the second function. Okay. So as you have the function with you, this particular function I already shown you that this function you can use within it. Okay. So go with not with new column, with home, new table tab will be there. Okay. This will be the function. So here we are just calculating according to the month or month wise sales will be there. Okay. So you can create it and you can check what is the results you are getting. Right. So that's the thing in our second module. Right. So that's the completion of second module.